new art under these very nomadic tents. This artful effervescence has been prevalent among the tribes for thousands of years. The art which emerges from the low class strata of the society and feeds up the highest class.
But we mustn't forget also the people in the mountains, the people who were not affected in any way by the Shahs and their political ideas, not affected by the court taste, people who wove carpets only for their own use, never to sell them, just to use them to decorate their homes, their tents. And these carpets, of course, are, in a sense, an older tradition. They are pile carpets, they are kilims, both types, reflecting an Iranian folk art untouched by any other influences. This tradition has continued for hundreds of years, since the great carpets of the classical period of the Safavids. Carpets have continued to be made in every town and in every village and in the mountains among the nomads throughout Iran. And even today, someone who deals in carpets, as we do, can be surprised to find a kind of carpet now which is maybe 100 years old and which nobody even knew existed. Every year, some new kind of carpet comes to light, which shows more of the Iranian tradition.
In the next program, we will talk about the age-old tradition of carpet weaving and genuineness of Persian carpets. Lasting Garden, Part 3. The history of the world is not merely the conquests and victories of kings. In different parts of the world, there have lived men and women who have captured the hearts and minds of millions of people without any fighting or domination. These men and women have created works of art with the hope of achieving peace and tranquility, expressing their ideals and love. And carpet is a symbol of this eternal endeavor.
The country of Iran has been famous for carpets for thousands of years. And this fame is due probably to perhaps three crucial elements. First, you have the best wool in the world. So you have naturally available the most important element for making a carpet. And this has given Iranian carpets a quality which very few other origins can match. Secondly, you have an immense artistic tradition in all forms of art, in architecture, in metalwork, in jewelry, in painting, in bookmaking, and these elements are also reflected in the art of the carpet. And the third, rather unique feature is the fusion in Iran of different cultures. You have the ancient Persian culture, which predates much of our history. You have the Arab culture, which brought the Islamic religion. You have the Turkish culture, which came in the 11th century when the Turks entered Iran, and all of these have fused to give a multifaceted culture, Persian in ultimate origin, but reflecting the traditions and the skills of the other races which are intermingled here in Iran. Nowhere else has these three elements combined so well as Iran.
The pretty pen of imagination describes you in mystery, and the mystery weaves with its fingers a world of imagination. Carpet weaving is probably the only industry which from the very beginning has mingled with thought beyond man's imagination, and with the passage of time has become the manifestation of the carpet weaver's ideals and loves. The innovated scenes of domes, minarets, under the domes, and thousands of monotheistic patterns all indicate a deep love for the creator of existence.
Persian carpets have a long and glorious history, and it's very difficult to look at any carpets from any country without some reference at some point to carpet weaving in Persia. And I think that carpet weaving in Persia has been hugely influential on carpets made elsewhere. I mean, if we look at the Ottoman court of the 16th century, you can see the influence of the Safavid influence creeping into carpets of the Ottoman court. We see the influence of we even see the influence of Iranian carpets in European carpets of the 17th century and 18th century. It's impossible to discuss carpets without discussing Persian carpets, and you cannot gain an understanding of carpets without having a really good understanding of Persian carpets, and I think especially the nomadic carpets of Persia, which have played such an enormous influence in I think the whole development of carpets from more than 2,000 years.
Nomadic tribes in Iran, who were considered the first people to have woven carpets, still continue to do so in the same traditional manner. Nowadays, a wide mass of the Iranian society's workforce, from nomads to villagers to city people, are engaged in this industry. Iran is one of the producers of the most varied pattern carpets in the world. Almost 8 million Iranians are engaged in the business of carpet making.
Tatsache ist, dass in Persien in keinem anderen Land der Erde so unglaublich.
Based on my former experiences, I believe that in no country does there exist such a variety of the carpet weaving traditions. The domain of carpet weaving is very unique and vast in Iran. It includes nomads, farmers and city weavers, people who make carpets in their tents, small workshops of villages, and big workshops of cities. Large number of people with different motivations are weaving carpets throughout Iran.
Today, the Iranian carpet is a full-length mirror reflecting local cultures and traditions, which are clearly intertwined in the warp and wefts of the patterns.
This tradition has continued for hundreds of years since the great carpets of the classical period of the Safavids. Carpets have continued to be made in every town and in every village and in the mountains among the nomads throughout Iran. And even today, someone who deals in carpets, as we do, can be surprised to find a kind of carpet now which is maybe 100 years old and which nobody even knew existed. Every year, some new kind of carpet comes to light which shows more of the Iranian tradition.
Undoubtedly, it is owing to the ancient traditions and nobility that today the Iranian carpet is famous worldwide. And maybe it is because of this success that today other countries are copying Iranian patterns and using them as models.
This tradition can still be found in Iran, the only country in the world which does not copy the work of others. All other countries, from China to the Balkans, and from Egypt to India, are copying Iranian carpet patterns. Now I'd like to pose this question, that if there is any criticism of the Iranian carpet, then why do carpet weavers from all over the world are copying the Iranian patterns and designs?
Bis heute diese Tradition hat aufbewahren können. Und wir hoffen, dass diese Tradition auch in Zukunft.
The hands of the Iranian carpet weavers are so able and experienced in the creation of this art that they skillfully create what is impossible for others. From creating thousands of flowers to triangular spandrels and medallions on both sides of one rug, to vase-shaped carpet whose weaving involves thousands of tricks, two carpets in one, and millions of knots for the creation of a miniature work. And yet, another wonder. A garden with thousands of flowers with embossed patterns, which compels the viewer to appreciate the skill applied.
This carpet is 1.5 by 2.3 meters and has embossed patterns with symmetrical shapes on its surface. It took more than 1 year to weave this carpet, and another 6 years to trim and prepare the extraordinary embossed pattern. My motive for creating this carpet has been to alter the use of carpet from covering the floors to something worthy of being hung on the walls, especially that of the museums. The most amazing feature in this carpet is the symmetrical volume among the figures. First, we left the carpet with a 6 centimeters thickness, then started scissoring for 6 years. This scissoring should be done with great care and attention to maintain the symmetrical element in the carpet. Mistakes in scissoring can therefore be fatal. Comparing this with plasterworks, mistakes there can be overlooked because the job can be redone. This symmetrical element created in this carpet is even more precious than very highly done plasterworks. This, as you can see, is brilliantly unique.
رفتم موزه امام رضا.
I was visiting Imam Reza Museum where I saw a vase which caught my sight.
اون روز همینا من یه لحظه چشمم جلید. در این فکر افتادم که بس منم همین کار یه
I went home
درست میکنم.
and was very impressed.
اومدم نشستم.
I thought for 1 year about weaving something similar to the vase.
شروع کردم. اول یه کوزه بافتم. بعداً یه گلافدان چی حالا اگر اجازه میدادن میارم نشون بدم. آخرین کارم همینی چی بعد از 10 سال خورده‌ای.
This is one of the 3 works of mine which I worked on for 10 years.
این 3 سال خورده‌ای
I worked for 3 years to make this vase hollow.
مشکلی 3 سال خورده‌ای من اینا را کار کردم به خاطر یک تیکه تو خاله
with button
ته داشت. اگر
and made a
لازم
one
باشم
single
نشون بدم
piece.
تهشه. این ته‌ها که می‌بینی شما
In this
یعنی
bottom
خودش
side,
معلوم نیست کدوم طرفه.
the weaving has begun from the central
خوابش
part,
معلوم نیست این وری و اون وری این
and
وری.
therefore there is no nap in this
ته
part.
شروع شده بیشتر از 100 بار من اینا را سله کشی کردم.
Maybe
و
I did the
خاطر
warp
یک
setting more than 100
تا
times.
هر لحظه به لحظه من مثل
Like
سوپرگران
potters,
تغییر
I
حالت
had to
می‌دادم.
change the position of the vase from time to time while weaving.
این گلارا که می‌بینی این
This flora here is a palm tree.
نخله که اینجا بافته شده. این یه سینی که
This is a tray,
اینم یک
and this is an old tile working you see around the neck,
اینم
and this is a flag
پرچم اسم
and my name.
اینم یک جدواری که از اونجا
And this is a plaster working,
بافته شده. اینم توشو که
you see the inside,
عالی خواهد.
which is hollow.
گفتن از خارجی‌ها خیلی
Foreigners
به من
praised my
تشکر
work
کردن.
and wanted to buy it, but I said
خواستن که
no,
ببرن، من
this work
نگفتم.
should remain
خاطر
in this
اینکه
country.
می‌خواستم از این خاک بمانم.
چهار رنگ و مخلوط
We combined 4 threads to have only one
که بغل هم بخوایم ببافیم که
and use
ساده
it
روشن
for
بشه.
shades and shadows.
ریش این،
You see, the beard of this dervish
ریش هم
is
که
made of
این
several
درش
colors.
چندین رنگ بافته شده. حتی تو این ریش مشکی بافته
You
شده.
see
برگه‌ای
black,
هست، صورتی
brown,
هست، سبز هم
pink,
هست.
and even green.
که اگر دقت بکنید. بعد این ریش رو با رنگ صورت
The
مخلوط
color of
کردیم.
beard
یعنی کمرنگ ریش
is
رو
then
آوردیم،
mixed
قاطی
with the
صورت
skin
کردیم.
color
از
to have a
رنگ
better
ریش
view,
کم
as you
کردیم،
can
باز
see
رنگ ریش رو
here.
اضافه کردیم که به این صورت محو شده. رنگا رو مخلوط میکنیم.
Threads of different colors are mixed to have these colors used in this carpet.
چه این نوع رنگ باشه چه رنگای دیگه باشه چون غیر از این باشه در نمیاد.
They are woven next to each other
ما این کارو میکنیم.
to make this.
که از یه مایه رنگی ممکنه 20 تا 25 تا ما داشته
We can have 27 shades of one hue. That's why we say, for instance, 10,000 hues have been used in a carpet. In this carpet, 4,000 hues have been used. This carpet will be finished in 3 years. 2 years have gone, another year left.
Every art, from the time it is created, ascends and reaches perfection. Iranian carpet, this work of art, at every stage of its blossoming up to the climax of its beauty, has always been the manifestation of other exhilarating arts.
A 2 by 3 meters carpet of Isfahan has been woven in compact way here